what's good? It's Bear in the building. You guys, today we have a very special segment. We got a lot of guests today. First off, I just want to thank the sponsors of this episode. Wichita Pride has sponsored this segment today. Wichita Pride will have a lot of events coming up for Pride Month, so make sure you guys check that out. You guys, today we will be talking about platonic relationships within the queer community. Now, everybody has it differently. Everybody thinks differently. I have my own personal opinion about it, but we're going to get a lot of different opinions, and we are going to let this conversation flow and see how everybody is. For me personally, if you don't know me, my name is Bear, the host of Kueen Talk. My pronouns are she, hers, and I'm actually in a relationship. It's not always known, but yeah, I am in a relationship, and that's probably the first time I've actually said that on Kueen Talk, just because I'm pretty a private person. But in these segments that we have going on, it's going to be an open conversation. So here we are. We're going to introduce the guests that we have on today. First, Elliot.
Hi, I'm Elliot. I'm 26. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a trans masc in the community, and I am recently in a relationship.
Hi, I'm Listaria Maya. I am a trans woman. My pronouns are she, her, and I am your current Miss Wichita Pride.
I'm Courtney. My pronouns are she, her. I identify as queer, and I'm in a relationship.
My name is Justice Jermaine. I am 27 years old. I am your current reigning Miss Kansas Pride 2024. You might know me as Rain Regalia, and I am currently in a relationship.
My name is Cheryansky Gray. I am 34 years old. I identify as a lesbian. I'm in a relationship. I'm finna get married.
Hi, my name is Mary. I'm 32. Identify as a lesbian. My pronouns are she, her, and that bitch. I am also in a relationship. We're about to hit a year next month. And yeah.
Alrighty, so for those that do not know, what is a platonic relationship? So a platonic relationship is one in which two people share a close bond but do not have sexual relationships but have an emotional connection. So an emotional connection. So let's just open it up. Who has like platonic relationships like right now? For me personally, I do, but they're my old friendships, like back from high school. I don't really have any now that have like grown or whatnot. But what about you guys?
I have friends.
You have
Yeah, I have friends.
Yes.
Like a lot of platonic friends.
Yeah, I would say I
Indeed.
have a lot of platonic relationships.
Were they old or are they new? Like these are new friends that you have gained recently, or these are just like old friends that you've always had?
A heavy mixture of both over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both.
All right. So how is you are in a relationship right now?
Yes.
So how are you in platonic relationships then? So you obviously have a lot. So and you're laughing.
I have long-lasting platonic relationships because most of my friends, we all grew up on the same basketball team, and we were 8 years old when we met, and so there's like 8 of us, and we're still very much so like sisters at this point. We've been through a lot together, and so that's like friends turn family, so I don't feel like you can get to that next level of friendship without that emotional connection, which is shared through like experiences, hurt, celebration, the wins, growing up, and all that stuff like that. So those are like family at this point. And then I would say like the newness of some of the newer platonic relationships, I feel like are because I'm very much so okay with now who I am, and maybe not so much because when you got old friends, there's not a lot of new
Right.
stuff that they know about
Yeah.
you. And so with these new platonic relationships, I just feel like it's a not as deep of an emotional connection, but I feel like just as important because I'm an adult and I'm confident in those.
What about you, Justice?
I think like if we're talking about old friends, I actually didn't have that experience. I did play sports growing up and stuff like that, but I was like the boy who was like doing like cartwheels like in the middle of practice, and so like you don't want to hang out with that, I guess. And so most of my friends are like female lesbians from middle school and high school, and like they were the people who protected me like growing up. And then in the drag community, new friends, like my best friend's on the panel. Like Saray is like my best friend like for everything. And I think, like you said, celebration and wins. Like we've been there through like a lot of stuff, and like that's the extent of I think our relationship.
Yeah.
Like new.
Let's get to this side. What do you say, LeMay?
I do. I have quite a bit of older friends. A lot of them, it was interesting, especially like introducing them after I transitioned. Now, my newer friends, though, it seemed like it was a lot easier for them to accept me just because there wasn't that layer, like justice, you know what I'm saying, that you had to kind of like get through. It was kind of like, we love you for you regardless, despite, we don't know your past.
Okay. And Courtney?
I would say it's a little bit different for me because I'm not from Wichita. So it's having to build those connections. And as you get older, you're more picky with those connections because I don't need everybody's energy in my space. Because as you get older, you start to realize what you'll tolerate. And I realized the things that I'll tolerate as a kid is not what I tolerate now. So that's kind of been a barrier in like developing some new relationships as well. So I still am very closer with like my older ones, but it's hard because they're in Missouri and I'm here. So it's difficult. It's difficult.
Yeah, so you bring up a point of just like the relationships that you have are old. So like I asked like old versus new. A lot of you guys said they're old friendships. So now that you guys have like got into a relationship, and Ellie, I want to come to you next because you just got into one. So you got into a relationship, your friendships that you make now, like you're in a partnership with someone. Now, this is This is the platonic relationships I am referring to in this moment, okay? So,
while we had the red flag.
okay. So, okay. So we got red flags here, okay? So anytime these people hold up red flags, it's something it's a red flag, okay? Get it to self. All right. So what I'm asking is, so you're in a relationship now. Moving forward with your relationship and your partner, how do you navigate platonic relationships? Elliot, has this come up with you and your partner at all so far?
Yeah, because my partner and I were talking about becoming poly eventually. Okay. Right now we're monogamous just to build that trust and like fundamental like aspect with each other right now. But what was the question?
So how are you going to navigate being platonic friendships, especially now that you're in a want to build to poly? Like that's a whole, yeah, we'll get into that too. Like you're wanting to be poly, but how do you build these platonic relationships with people as well, navigating your relationship too?
I just show people decent human like being, like decency.
Okay. So do you think that you could be like friends with?
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So what Bear is trying to ask is, as Fems or Mask, how do we navigate having friendships with the opposite?
Yeah.
That is what she's asking.
Are you wanting to be like, for instance, like, for me, like, I wouldn't be able to be friends, like, if in the instance, like, of what I think you're saying, I wouldn't be able to be friends with, like, tops, basically.
Okay.
If that's the way we were looking at it.
Okay, then yeah. So why do you think that is? Like,
I don't think that. I'm just asking, like, if that's what you're asking.
That's what she's asking.
Okay, that's what I think. Okay,
Yeah,
I think.
platonic relationship.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes, I have friends that are studs. Mm-hmm. Yes, I do. And my fiance is comfortable with it because she knows that we're just friends. I have built space for her to communicate with those individuals. She knows where our relationship stands. She's comfortable with it. There's never been any reason for her to question anything other than that. Bear doesn't think that is possible.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Okay, let me just guess. I don't think friends can be friends with him.
Why didn't you just say that?
That should be the title of the episode.
But I think because I feel like respecting because it's like an emotional connection. A platonic relationship is an emotional connection, which if you have those boundaries with that platonic friend, I feel like that is different. But But these studs ain't shit. These studs ain't shit.
You're my friend. You're a stud.
Yeah, but I feel like when it comes to like a platonic, it gets like deeper than that. Like me and Mary's friendship, like going out one-on-one, coffee, saying it like it's different. I would never get there with you, like and with Mary. Just I think that's out of respect to my. What, you got a red flag? Red flag?
Wait a minute. I feel like that sounds kind of like bias in like your friendships. Almost a little bit like saying that this person is more. I feel like this friendship is a little bit more important. I can put more time into you one-on-one versus with you, I have to hang out in a group setting. And then that also bothers me just a little bit because in my past relationships, like my last relationship, it was literally like, I don't want you to be friends with this person and I don't want you to be friends with that person. And then you realize that it's not necessarily what you're doing, it's them. Like, it's literally them. Like, it's I think that you might do what I'm trying to do. And I don't think that's fair. Like, maybe you want to get coffee, you know?
Yeah, well, no, like, I think coffee was different because we have gotten coffee together. Like, that's not fair. We have gotten coffee together. But I just feel like there's just like I don't know. I just feel like respecting my relationship. And this, I don't know if other people have like a certain person like or a demographic that they don't because of just like respecting in their relationship or whatnot. Or if it's just me, like, what do you...
I feel like it also depends on who you are. You have to know your own boundaries as a person. So, like, I feel like my girlfriend now, she's super cool with me being cool with just about anybody in the world. Because that's how she is. But I know certain kind of women that I don't need to be hanging out with all the time because I don't know their motives, but it's clear as day. You can pick up on that. You can pick up on cues. You can pick up on flirting. You can pick up on if you're only inviting me out versus if you're inviting me and my partner out. I mean, you can pick up on some of that behavior. And so I might still be able to be cool with you. You know, we can like be cool. We might not be able to skate together all the time type of deal because I'm also the kind of person where it's just like, I'm gonna flirt back. And I'm gonna do it every single time because I'm a flirty kind of person. But my partner might be insecure in that fact. So I'm not gonna have a certain kind of personality around me. Like, I can't have another personality around me. That's my personality. Yeah. You know what I mean? I can't do that.
I want to ask this side first, like what your thoughts are.
Real quick before we continue, I'm sorry, y'all. I forgot to mention I'm single. I'm single. Now, I didn't say I was ready to mingle.
Okay.
She's just single. Just before we continue.
Okay. But I wanted to like hear your guys' thoughts on that.
Yeah. I can go. So I'm actually in a heterosexual viewed relationship. So I'm in a relationship with a man. And he has issues if I hang out with straight men. Like, he doesn't care if I'm hanging out with other girls, which is a little weird because I think I like girls a little more. But, like, I think it does go back to, like, their own insecurity and, like, what they've seen in the past. Because he's like, Courtney, I trust you. I don't trust them. That's what it is. And, like, there's some validity in that. Like you said, some people aren't shit. Like, they're just not. And when you go around with people like that and you see the patterns that continue to happen, like, I mean, you're going to be defensive. So it's like, I see the defensiveness in that. Because sometimes I can get the same way. You know, like, why are you hanging out with her? Like, what's y'all's relationship? What is she giving you? You know what I mean? Like, it just comes from a place of, I don't trust everybody. I just don't.
Yeah, and I feel like you just also have to be very conscious of other people's intentions.
Correct.
Because, look, my fiance's okay. But, okay, so I'm just giving a brief example. There was a friend that she had. And from her view, they're just friends. Like, oh, no, that's just my friend. Like, it ain't even nothing like that. But I see the other person, and I see how they acting. They not acting like they just your friend. And then you like, no, for real, like, it's all good. Like,
Okay, you started with, okay, you can have stud friends.
because we can.
Okay, but do you
But
think...
it depends on you. Like I said, you have to be conscious of the other person's intentions.
Right, yeah.
Because even with myself, if I have a friend, even Fems, because I've dated Fems, so I mean, I mean, I'm not just gonna have no friends, you know. But it's like when the other person is doing too much,
Yes.
and when they're
Yes.
being too flirty,
Yes.
and when they're crossing
Yes.
lines.
Yes.
You can feel it. You know
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And so once you pick up on that, then that's when you gotta create
Yes.
the distance.
Yes.
Does
Like
your
we can be
partner-
cool, but we don't need to be hanging out
Does your
every
partner
single day.
have femme friends?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Justice? You're in your relationship?
I
Is
have
there
to
like
agree wholeheartedly with what you just said. You have to pay attention to people's intentions.
Yeah, you do.
I do have a lot of friends, and my friends are bunches of different people, and I do have friends who are like, hey, like, do you want to hang out on this day? Like, this is something that I know that you like to do. And it's like, okay, my partner also likes to do this. Like, this is something that we do together. It's like, okay, yeah, but I just kind of want to talk to you, see, like, where your head's at about stuff. Or I can't call you, like, when your partner's around kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, like, literally been in situations like that and have gone, and my partner's so confident and secure within himself that he's like, no, definitely go. And because he knows that I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell him everything.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be like, okay, so this is what happened, and I'm not necessarily sure if this is what's going to continue to happen because I felt a little weird about it. And he's like, no, like, I definitely agree with you. Like, sounds like that's a little bit of, like, uncomfortable. It sounds like they might like you a little bit more than what they've been letting on, and I'm not telling you not to hang out with that person, but I support your decision in not hanging out with that person because you know how that'll make me feel.
And I think it depends on who you're dating.
Yeah.
Like if I'm dating you and like I'm in love with you and I respect you, the chances are I'm gonna have more of those boundaries. But I've also dated people where I'm like, this bitch ain't gonna last a couple months. So I'm not saying no to not a goddamn thing. Like I might know that person's intention. I might not be actively going there with you physically, but I know that you're gonna be an option because I know this ain't about to last for more than 3 months. And so I just feel like it depends on like who I'm dating and how much I respect them and how much I see or how invested I am in that relationship. Like my current relationship, I'm super invested in. Very much so respectful, like talk about everything, run everything by each other. She got her friends, got my friends, we got friends, we got she friends, he friends, them friends. And so, you know, like we Dr. Seuss in this bitch. And so I don't have a problem with even telling her about a new person that, you know, we could be friends with or I can be friends with. But the ex before that, I didn't give a damn.
So do you guys feel like the friendships that you do bring now are like we communicate between our partners? So it's not just like your friend, you don't run it by. Like these are friendships. Because me personally, like now how I navigate with platonic relationships, it's like if my partner doesn't mess with you, then it's like we just can't be friends at all. Like that.
Yeah.
I would hope.
Yeah.
Agreed, right.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
100%.
yeah. If there's a vibe or something like that, but if then I like try to make them become friends.
Yeah.
So then like it's and then like if they got a partner that's really dope, so then me and their partner can be like really cool. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's how like I navigate it these days. So like if you have a partner, it's easy for me to like become your friend because we can go on double dates, we can do a lot of things together, and so I think that's how I move forward. What do you guys see on this?
I have a question about that. So let's say you have a friend that you knew before your partner.
Yeah, so like I said, I have old friends that they are platonic relationships, like from high school.
And then, like, let's say your partner meets them and doesn't mess with them. Then you just cut them off?
She's liked everyone so far, but yeah, there's no one that I think I got good energy and like who I bring around too. So it's like those ones to be honest, like before I got into my relationship, I was like a completely different person. Like Mary knows, like I wasn't. I'm in my 20s. Like there's a lot of stuff that I was doing and stuff. So and I didn't respect the people that I was with too, like before her. So I think also just now, like when I got that out the way, I got a lot of other people out the way too. So that helped out too. So like now the people that are in my life, you got to be motivated, driven. Like, what are you doing with your life? Like, I'm like on a mission to be something greater for me, myself, and my family. So if like you don't have the same mindset, then we can't even be cool at all. So I think that's also just like how that changed. So, but she's cool with everybody that like all my old friends. She's met them all. They've come around. So yeah, to answer your question.
I don't feel like I would have a problem cutting somebody off if my partner was really uncomfortable with them and they had a valid reason. And it wasn't like an insecurity that you brought into the relationship or maybe just an insecurity that you've always had. If it was a valid reason, I wouldn't have a problem cutting off my homegirl because you ain't making my lady happy. And if she ain't happy, I'm not happy.
I want to throw an example out that happened recently between like my relationship. So we were at a gathering and we met this stud presenting person together.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
I know a stud presenting when I see one.
Stud presenting. Only at Kueen Talk, y'all. Only on Kueen Talk. Go ahead with your stud.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so we met them both at the same time. We exchanged Snapchats. We both got their Snapchat.
Oh, no. Red flag. Right there. You don't do Snapchat right away.
Snapchat is for single people, baby.
I have Snapchat and I'm in a relationship. It's not for single people.
But why the messages disappearing?
You have the option. You have the option to make things like save or anything like that, like in your chats and things like that. But I will say, like first, like that's a bit of a red flag. Snapchats, because you have so many other things. You have Instagram. You have a YouTube where you can connect and you show all of these things.
And you have a phone number.
Baby.
Facebook, write it on the wall.
I feel like Snapchat is just like that's like what
Are you comfortable with Snapchat versus like...
That's just the first, like if it's Instagram or whatever. I don't even know. It was just Snapchat this time. It was just Snapchat. I personally don't have a problem with whatever is exchanged. Like if you was Snapchat, I don't have a problem with Snapchat.
No, I'm the type in the relationship, like, do you know her? Do you know him? Because, like, I don't know, like, since we are, like, dating, a lot of your friends are now adding me, and a lot of my friends are adding you, and a lot of people will do this weird fucking thing where it's like, you know me, right? And you know me. You never talk to me. I'll see you in the community and whatnot, and we build this kind of relationship. And then you skip over adding me, and you go add my partner, and you think it's cute. And I'll be like, because I'll be like, okay, and I don't ask like be on his phone, but like he'll ask me like, do you know this person? And at that point in time, I think it's open season. Okay, look, let me look at all of these people. And I know her. She's cool. You don't need to be friends with this person. I don't even know why they're here, and carry on. But I think that's me personally.
I agree.
Okay.
I'm sorry, we completely...
No. I'm like on the Snapchat. I feel like you guys are now like talking about like the boundaries within your relationship of the friendship. So do you guys are...
No, you said that you guys had a situation that occurred.
Yeah, I know.
Was that the situation?
No.
Is there more?
Yes.
Okay, let's hear it.
I was thinking that was just like a red flag in general, but we'll come back to it. So we both added them on Snapchat, okay?
The stud presenting person.
Yes, the stud presenting person on Snapchat. And so it's like natural, like they're Snapchatting. We've Snapchatted too. But then there was this one point in time where they Snapchatted my partner something because we were trying to hook them up with somebody. And
they're single?
The stud presenting person with the partner?
No, she was single.
Oh, okay.
The stud was single.
Okay.
And so
Snapchat's for single people. I'm with her now.
so then after that, she just messaged my partner about the situation that happened and was like, "Don't tell anybody." Ooh. And before that happened, before that happened, I had had a conversation with my partner about the back and forth that was already going on in Snapchat, because I was like, I have a feeling this person isn't just trying to just be just friends with you. I feel like, especially if they're cutting me out, me personally, if you have a masked partner, I'm going to them preferably and having the conversation with them, not this person when we both met together. So for them to go to her and be like, yeah, don't tell anybody this,
Don't tell what?
Yeah,
and don't tell who exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I trust my partner. She came to me and said, what had happened. She told me what had happened. So it's like, but that situation definitely rubbed me the wrong way. And this is just like, we had this conversation of just like friendships because she's new to the community. I'm also new with like setting these boundaries with friendships too, because I didn't care. The old me didn't care. I'm friends with everybody. You can deal with it if you don't, you don't. So like, this is why I wanted to have this conversation too, because it's new. It's like a topic I feel like everybody should have within the relationship too, just like being open and honest, just like about friendships. So that was the situation that happened. That's why I just don't trust studs.
Well, that's the presenting person was just shady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I think that brings it back to your point of just like feeling out. Like there's certain people that could be friends, like a platonic friendship, but when you feel something's off, then
No, you gotta hit that button.
yeah. Mm-hmm. And you, like, now that we're like on the Snapchat thing, you mentioned like people, your partner having certain friends, like, and obviously they had friends before you, but now it's like you're with them and it's like, why are you friends with them? Why do you?
Not like they're friends that like they've already been friends with. I will say that like probably like if you've told me this is a friend that I have and like we've had this on connection, or maybe we had an interaction that happened like, you know, under the influence or anything like that, but it never went past anything like that. Like we don't do coffee, we don't go on dates, we don't cuddle or anything like that. It was just a good time. So those are things that I'll watch, but I'm not, you can't see this person, you can't hang out with this person, you can't talk to this person. But I am a watcher, and I'm not gonna ignore like what you've already told me.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think it should be the same way like with me. Like I see what you guys are saying about like cutting people off. I will cut people off because like it can't. Those Disney Channel episodes like are very serious. Somebody will be really really cool with you, and then when they get around your friends or your people or your person, really conniving, really snotty, and like just mean, and that can be because they want you, because they feel intimidated by said person, or they're jealous of their position in your life. So like I am very mindful of that, but I'm also very, okay, I do need you to chill out on this because I do know that this person is not trying to do anything. So like I'm very, if I see it for sure. Like that's cut off. And then if you give me something and I see it, then it's cut off. But like other than that, I'm not gonna sit here and cause drama because I know Bobby don't want me.
With you, Elliot, since you're like new into a relationship, have you had these conversations with your partner of just like platonic friendships?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How has that been for you?
It's been pretty good because, for instance, he recently got a Snapchat like as soon as we started dating, and then he was like, "Oh, you're friends with these people, like people you may know," and then he just starts adding a bunch of people, and I'm like, "Hold on a second." Just because they're friends with me, yeah.
Just because they're friends with you,
Doesn't mean that it's like a safe and inviting place for you as well, perhaps, like per se.
Okay. So, are you ones that like to keep friends separate from their partner? Like this is just
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Not like separate from my partner, but I do believe that they're like, I have like my like own set of friends that we're like super close with, and I think it's very healthy for me to be able to go out with my friends and not always have to have my partner around. It's just like, because sometimes you getting on my motherfucking nerves and I want to talk to my girls or my guys about how much you pissing me off, and I don't need you sitting right here next to me. But also same for her. Like I encourage her to go out with her friends, and like I appreciate the respectful invite. Like, hey babe, do you want to come? I think that's just out of respect, and she knows 9 times out of 10 I'm like, nah, you got that. Just because I feel like that's healthy for you to go out, have your own identity, do what you would like to do with your friends, and it's not like I'm keeping them separate, but like I have my own set of friends where like they'll call, check on her, they'll talk to her, but like as far as like hanging out, that's kind of like a me thing with them, not really like a her or us thing.
But do you really think that that is keeping the friendships separate or just keeping the interactions separate?
I'm not for sure because I don't think she has. I think they're more like associates with her, not really friends with her. Like I have some friends that respect us and love her and check on her, but they're not going to be like, hey, you know, do you want to come out or you want to go have coffee? Because they're more like associates through associating with me and not necessarily, just like with her friends. She got some friends that are like, oh, how's Mary doing? What y'all do this weekend? All right, cool. You ready? I'm about to come get you type of thing. Like, and I like that. I prefer it that way because we have enough together already.
That makes sense.
And then I guess to that point, I would say that wouldn't even like work because like so let's just say like I have friends that I have introduced my partner to, of course.
Yeah.
But you not going nowhere with my fiance unless I'm there. What is you talking about? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, we can have mutual friends. You can come over. Like, we can hang out. We can do stuff together. But you're not picking her up and taking her nowhere.
No. See, when you put it that way.
So when you put it that way, that sounds terrible.
It sounds different. But I'm looking at it from the aspect of like, maybe y'all are trying to plan a surprise birthday party. I like surprises, you know? And like, so like you guys can talk, but no.
But I mean, okay, so to an extent, because like obviously I got engaged almost a year ago. And she did have to interact with my friends and do because it was a surprise. But that's one thing. You know, she's like, well, I'm going to go over here. And at first I'm like, what is you doing?
You said that and I was like, you are so
But
right.
it's different when it's like, hey, I'm about to come get your fiance. We going to the movies. No, the fuck you not.
Okay, that's
you know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about like if she got friends that like I might not like. You know how you like I love my partner's friends, right? But I don't necessarily want to hang out with them. Like, you know, like
I love my partner's friends for them.
I love them for her. Like, and if I need like just for instance, her best friend had a birthday party this Saturday. I went because that's your human being. I'm gonna go and be supportive. But if they go and want to hang out, go to the mall, go kick it, you know, they want to go on a girls trip, I don't want to go.
But you wouldn't do
me.
that for like the friendships that you meet together, or
no, like if we met them together, them are our friends. But like if you want, I don't know, I just feel different because my partner is also very much so younger than me, and I do not want to come off as I want her to be able to experience some of those other things type of ordeal. So I think my perception of this is going to be wildly different because I also don't mind her having stud friends or femme friends, but if you have slept with those said friends at one point in the past, it's a no-go for me. It's a no-go for me.
They can't like talk. They can't hang. Like interact.
No, it's a no-go for me. Like if it's a no-go for me. If you had sexual interaction with your little stud friend and you think I'm gonna be still with your little stud friend, with your little stud presenting friend, and you think you about to be sitting up at my motherfucking house? You little man child, get the fuck out of here! No.
Oh my God.
No. You know what I mean? So like I don't want my partner, like I get that we've all had those moments in time. Y'all can be cool, but there's not gonna be any type of like, oh, I'm with Mr. Ma'am. You know, like
Are you friends with people that you've hooked up with?
You said what?
Are you friends still? With people
I
that you've hooked up with?
think that yes, I'm like, but it's not like a I'm not friends with them in a sense. No, listen, I'm not.
Oh my God.
I'm not friends.
Do I hear a double standard?
No, because like said person that I am friends with, that's a whole different situation because I also do not hang out with them alone. Me and my partner hang out with them.
That's it.
It is never one-on-one.
Right.
Yeah, it is never one-on-one. It's never one-on-one.
Do you guys? All right, just open it up, and I wanna like ask this. Do you guys are you friends with your exes? Any of you guys friends with your exes?
Courtney.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I am.
Okay.
Yes. But here's the thing. I know that I'm never going to get back together with them. I think like you build these connections with people and then sometimes you realize they're just not my person. But like we still have this connection. Like it's not like I'm talking to them each and every day.
Yo, queers and allies. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this episode thus far. I just want to jump in here and thank Wichita Pride again for being a sponsor of this episode. Make sure you guys check out their webpage to check out all the amazing events that they have going on in June. This year is their 20th anniversary. It's Emerald Anniversary, the 20th. They got the wicked theme. I just want to thank them again. You guys, this episode's getting good. Hopefully you guys are staying with us. Family, friends, strangers, love, and be nice.
I said, it's just like, if there's casual, like, how are you? Just checking in. Like, at one point, that was my person. You know what I mean? Like, I still have that care for them. And my boyfriend knows. Like, I'll always tell him, I'm like, I love you. Like, you're my person. But I have history with this person. There's always going to be care for them. You know what I mean? Like,
That's too much.
no, like, no. Don't y'all wave your red. Listen. No, because listen, what y'all not going to do is wave your little flags at me. Because I'm going to explain. Listen. Yes,
Hold on.
go ahead.
Because I will say this: I have a child, and I have somebody that like we were in a relationship like a majority throughout like high school. We don't necessarily talk like that like at all, but like I'll see her like. Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day, like those kinds of things. It's your birthday, Christmas gifts. Like my daughter will pick something out. Like we'll do that kind of thing. And then I have somebody who helped me actually raise my daughter. Like after I figured out who I was and like the direction I was going into. And this person and I do not talk because we have so much history. And like that is the thing because like sometimes those hey how are yous they have a lot more behind them than you think.
Yes, that is true.
And then also, like, sometimes those people, they'll be the same people to expect, like, hey, I'm sick, I'm in the hospital, can you come see me?
No.
I am not about to tell my man at 3 a.m. that I'm about to get in call a lift and come see you.
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes, like, in my friendships, like, if you called me, babe, and you said I'm in the hospital, I don't know what's going on, I'm there, and I'm in the waiting room till I see you.
Yeah.
But, like, those... I can't be your friend at that point.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I've tried the relationship.
I get that.
I've tried being friends, but
Yeah.
like we can't be friends.
Yeah.
And it's so sad.
Yeah.
And then go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I want to, and then you next, Elliot.
You know, I would agree. Now, I have some experience. My most recent ex, he and I are still friends. We were in a relationship for a bit, and I had a relationship with his kids, kinda. You know what I'm saying? And you know, there's a baby mother, an ex also that was involved. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to subject the kids to any more like abandonment, if that makes sense. And I genuinely care about the dude and the kids, you know. So it's like, I genuinely still want to see you succeed. You haven't done anything necessarily that showed me that you don't want me to succeed too. So I know that it's mutual, you know what I mean? And we have that
what kind of
understanding.
relationship that is? Like, hey, how you doing? Like Courtney was saying, or y'all like hanging out and stuff still?
We still like see each other.
Define. Because you know I'm sitting here as bestie. I know.
We still like see each other.
Is it like are you guys hanging out amicably? Like I respect like this because, like first of all, you're single. Are they single?
Yes.
Then there's nothing.
Oh, then there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing to talk
wrong with
about.
that.
You can do whatever you want to do with that person.
Right.
Hers is a little bit different.
You ain't gotta go pointing at me. You ain't gotta go pointing back. No,
You can do whatever you want to do.
Different.
That's so wildly
No, I
different. That's
understand
wildly
that.
different.
Extremely
But
different.
if you find a new person, do you feel like you'll keep the relationship that you have with this person now?
That's a good question.
Now, hypothetically with what you said, like say I was to find somebody else, you know, now that wouldn't be, I wouldn't just automatically flat out be like, I don't give a about you no more. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, since my time is going to be shared with another person too, I would make that very clear. You know what I'm saying? This is how I have to move. You know what I mean? Because I am also having to, you know, kind of compromise for another person. You know what I mean? It can't be how it was.
Yeah.
You see, that's too much explaining.
Yeah, I was literally about to say because for me, it honestly.
I like to talk.
That's true.
What'd you say?
I like to talk.
Sometimes
No, but
people
I'm just
like they use
saying.
that as like a leeway to like try to negotiate and all of those things. And I've literally been through those stages where it's like, okay, it's been this many months since I've talked to her. Okay, for sure, you can talk to her, tell her happy birthday, tell her all of this stuff. And then it goes into, well, what's your dad doing? Like, what are you guys cooking for dinner? Stuff like that. And so then it just had to be like like we had those conversations where it's like, no, we can't talk about this, or you can't ask about that, and then it just they're going to keep pushing, and so it was one of those things where it's like, okay, we just don't talk, and you don't know that we don't talk until you try to call me, and you can't reach me, or until you text, and I'm not getting it, so like it's a little,
But as you're single, you can do whatever
you can do whatever you like. It's different for you.
It's different.
If you did get into a relationship, I can't say like as your partner that I wouldn't be upset that you're. It sounds like you're trying to let them down easy, and you don't have to do all of that. If they see you pop up and like we're together and whatnot, like they should already know what it is.
Right. Yeah,
there should be no acting stupid.
And I don't feel like I think that you can explain to a certain extent for like respect. So like, I started dating a gal when we were 13. I'm 32, so we had been together at that point off and on for so long. I'm talking about like 15, 20 years of like. She has watched me through middle school, high school, you know, the death of my grandparents, the death of my brother. Yeah. You know, like that is one of my that's my human being. She's like an amazing person, right? So then I meet my girlfriend a year ago, we're together. That's a relationship that I'm going to explain. Because at the end of the day, if you roll up to Thanksgiving, me and my partner, there's a high chance that she's gonna be there. And it's not anything like I don't need to tell my family to respect me because my nieces and nephews still call her aunt. You know, it's not a thing that I can do. I can't really do much of anything about that because I went away for school for 6 years and she was here helping my family, helping my sister raise my nieces and nephews. And so, but also wildly happy that I'm happy. Don't call me past midnight. Don't call me at all. Really. Might hear from her every other week, like, hey, you still breathing? Y'all good over there? Y'all need anything? Or just like, hey, like, you know, tell your mom I said happy birthday or Merry Christmas. But it's like that relationship I'm going to explain because she ain't going nowhere. And it's just like when she gets married, if she gets married, I'll be there. When I get married, because I am getting married, she will be there. And it's just like, that's a respect thing because there's so much history there. And I don't know how I would deal with someone who would say she can no longer be in your life. Because I'm looking for somebody you can trust me and respect me until I give you a reason not to. And it's not because I'm beaming and scheming. My phone's open, my location's on, you know, you're very much so with me. She's very much so respectful of that. And anytime, if she were to ever cross that line, you don't have to worry about saying anything to her because I will, and then that relationship will be done type of thing.
So you set those boundaries with?
Absolutely set those boundaries. She set those boundaries with me before I even had a chance to set them with her because I was going to. Like, you know, like I was going to try to, but they met. I had them meet because it's just like, hey, current girlfriend who I'm in love, this is such and such. She's a huge part of my life, a huge part of my family, and she's family at this point. She don't want me, I don't want her. And that's very much so. I think our last text message thread was 4 months ago, but she will call, you know, like, and invite us out to do her boot camp with some of our mutual friends. You know, hey, Bria will be there, yada, yada, you and your girlfriend should come, type of thing. And I just feel like at that point, why in that relationship type of ordeal?
Can I ask you how you would feel if it, like, and it can be like the same exact, like same mirror, would you be okay? Because I know me personally, when you go to meet like somebody's family, that is very anxiety ridden in the first place. Yeah. So, like, I don't know if your mom's gonna, like, especially in queer communities, because I don't know if your family accepts you, let alone accepts, they might accept your kind of gay, but they might not accept my kind of gay, because I'm very flamboyant, feminine out there. And I don't want to go to a family gathering, and, like, I'm meeting all these people for the first time, and your ex is there. Like, and
well, I will say that it has not happened, but I had to just let her know, like, hey, any given time, you know, if we do have family events, like, when she first met my family, my ex was not there. Good. My ex hasn't actually been there in the last year. But I'm saying if she were to show up at my nieces and nephews' basketball game, I don't want her to be like, oh, who's that? I want it to be like, oh, hey, how are you? What's up? And then continue on. That's why I put the preface out there. But no, you know, not like that.
You're not hanging out with her anymore. Nothing like
no, we don't hang out. We don't necessarily, we talk, we check in, if need be. If need be, if there's something. We share a dog. And
we share a dog.
But it's like, it's her dog, and like there's no, like, if she goes out of town, but she will call my girlfriend and ask, hey, can you guys dog sit? She won't call me and ask. Okay. You know, or she'll say, will you and your girlfriend be able to dog sit this weekend? Or, you know, is she okay with that? It's not like a just drop off whenever she wants to. She will ask before she does any of that. And so other than that, no, we don't hang out. We don't like kick it like that. But I mean, we're family at this point, so I think it's a little bit different. Now, if my girlfriend had the opposite thing going on, I would have to give her the same respect that she would give me until proven otherwise.
Fair. Very fair.
I give everybody one chance.
Yeah. Elliot, you said that you are recently in a relationship and you are friends with your ex too. How have you navigated that?
So first and foremost, I live with one of my exes, LOL. Oh. But because just it's rough out here. Economically, it's rough out here.
I've lived with an ex before, and like sometimes you do need that time to separate, but like not like we're on a lease together. I did this whole tour with you. Yeah. Like it's fine. I can sleep in this room. You can sleep in this room, and that's fine. And then I moved when it was time to move. Yeah. But
what's your dynamic like?
So my dynamic with my ex, Jasmine, it's pretty tight, even though we've been separated for like over 2-3-ish years now. And I still live with her because it's a symbiotic relationship. She knows me, I know her, we know how to work together well as a functioning household machine. And it's like a symbiotic relationship we describe to people. Like the little elephant and the bird that eats the bugs on top of the back of the...
How does your partner feel about this?
My boyfriend, he's pretty cool with it. He doesn't mind it. He likes my roommate. He thinks she's pretty cool. And then with my most recent ex, my boyfriend also met her, and they both like each other. So
you're just friends with all your exes?
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
Real quick with it.
I'm not friends with. I actually am friends with my ex that I had.
So do you like consider like an ex like somebody that you've dated or somebody that you've like slept with? Because I don't think we should. I just don't think we need to be making. I don't think we should make like exes such a thing. Like they're human beings that, like you said, we spend a lot of time with, and it comes with boundaries. But like, I'm also really cool with a couple girls that I didn't, slept with on a Monday and never talked to again. I don't care, because there was nothing there. True. One night stands here and there, like you did a little, hook up, whatever. But like, I see you out, we're cool. You might be hanging out in our group together. Yeah. I might see you more often than that, but
I have a platonic relationship with one ex, and I think that's just because like it was like my first relationship, and she is a cis woman, and she had lived in California for like a very long time, and so it was like we dated, and it was like kid stuff though. So it wasn't like it was like middle school into high school, like us becoming people. Yeah. Then outside of high school, like, oh, you're having a kid, I'm having a kid. Like we're very like we talk and stuff like that, but it's nothing inappropriate. Very platonic. I'm friends with one ex, but it's a dude. So it was like a dude that I dated in high school. So like that's completely different. And my partner is really good friends with him too. So clearly nothing is. So do you have it in your relationship that you can't be friends with exes, or you guys? No, my exes ain't fair. No, that's fair. Sometimes you look back at your track record and you're just like, So I'm just like, again, like back then I wasn't. Yeah. So you don't know him? No. This is your first relationship. Yes. You got it right on the first time. Honestly, that's the way that I look at it.
I honestly don't feel like outside of my long-standing ex, like, because we were together for so long, my ex-fiance, like, other than that, I don't feel a need to be friends with any of them. Yeah. Like,
so the girl that was that said it's gonna be at your family house, y'all was engaged. Yes,
yes, we were. Yes, yes, yes. Throw it up,
I'm not gonna wave it. I'm not gonna wave it.
But at the same time,
like, you tripping.
I mean, it is. We never get married.
No, you got
Married.
engaged.
What?
So.
We did, but like, how many people get engaged, get divorced, get married, still be like? I just don't see. I don't know. I feel like I'm a respectful person, and I attract respectful people. And I feel like if she were to ever get out of line, or if my lady ever came to me like, babe, I'm over it, done, I don't like it no more, I wouldn't even hesitate.
Okay.
I wouldn't hesitate.
Okay.
I wouldn't hesitate.
I get that simply because you explained the respect.
Yes.
But I feel like relationships that have a lot of history can get muddy very quickly. Just like you said with the conversations, it starts off as like, oh, how you doing? And then the next thing you know, they're messaging you and asking you. Yeah, she on the phone. She on the phone now.
What was that
But no,
post about?
But
Like-
but honestly, like in our situation, like she had explained this person to me from the very beginning, and I was like, I'm not fucking with it from the very beginning.
Thank you, because if you ever have to explain it to me at first, I know.
Right, but I also, because I have had long-standing off again, on again. Like I had an off again, on again situation for 10 plus years. Now I don't want nothing to do with her, like at all. And so it's like when you think about those situations, that is a lot of history, and that's a lot. And if you done left, okay, so if y'all together, y'all done broke up, you done went to somebody else, and then they broke up, and then you done went back a couple times. No, I'm not playing like that, because you may say to yourself, oh no, that situation is dead, it's done. But you done went back 6-7 times. So they may still be thinking, oh well, when this don't work out, there's a chance that we might, and it's not. And so it's like, I just feel like even with, like when we got engaged, she's like, oh, congratulations. I don't need your congratulations. You tell me don't tell her congratulations. Tell me congratulations. Like, I don't need, but even so, I don't want it though. Thanks, but but I just feel like I just don't like that, because I feel like it can get real sneaky and get real cute real quick.
Yeah.
And I just think that it should just not be a thing.
My ex had a habit of messaging like my mother and my grandmother because they were very close with them. And like at first I was very sensitive to it. I was like, you just lost your grandmother. Like my grandmother's been there for you. Like she loves you and everything. Like on Facebook, social media, all of that. But like after a while, it was just like, hey, they're messaging me, like asking me like why you're not answering. It's like now you're using them as a way to get to me, and that's like it's not genuine. It's not.
But again, until they show you that, it's just like I'm not gonna be the kind of person. I don't have time to be trying to figure out people's ulterior motives. I don't have time to try to figure out your ugly truth. But once you show me it,
But you don't think that you can have an inkling and a feeling, because I'm not like that with any other situation.
Yes, I do feel
but
like that.
When I just felt like.
Yes, I feel like if I get that inkling before they even say anything, then it is my duty as somebody in a committed monogamous relationship to cut that off, have that conversation with my partner as to why I cut that off, because lesbians is also sneaky, and we also have had that history in the lesbian community, especially in Wichita. We've all dated each other, we've all been with each other. That's not always the case. No, I'm saying that's the notion. That is the notion of that. And I feel like, well, how does that happen? Because you're not communicating with your partner effectively. So like I feel like if I cut that off, I'm gonna go let my lady know this is what happened. This is why that bitch is chalked up, wrapped up, and done. And we're on the same page about that kind of stuff. But in the same breath, if they haven't shown me anything and I haven't shown anything, I just feel like you're human as a magnet. So I'm not really trying to attract those kind of things in this stage of my life. But yes, it does get cute real quick. And I can be honest, as a person in the past who doesn't really believe in monogamy in the first place, and really have grown to that because of just the things I've gone
to monogamy.
I was about to.
Yes.
I don't believe in it, but you've grown.
No, I
to
said
it.
who never in the history, like the past, I haven't really believed in monogamy. Okay. So like my exes, I hung on them to them for that reason of like, oh, like you said, this bitch ain't gonna last 2-3 months. Like I'm a player before I'm anything. I'm gonna keep it P regardless. But as I've gotten older and my mindset has changed, and I met the woman that I want to respect, that I want to have those boundaries with, that I want to be with, that I want to build with. It'll change your mindset for that right person. I'm not doing that for everybody.
I will say you
I
have
can
grown.
agree with
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It took you a while.
Yeah,
but,
because
like,
I don't
as soon
give a
as-
fuck.
Yeah, as soon as
Shit. I don't fuck about these hoes. I don't. And never have. Never have. I never have. But when you meet a woman, like my mom always told me, like not every woman is gonna bring you to that high of heights. But when you find that woman that brings you to that high of heights, you do right by that. You want to do right.
Yeah.
So why am I gonna be doing right with Sally that I met stripping and tricking at the Hippo? Don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like I'm not doing it.
I can't say too much.
What you got to
I
say?
can't say too much.
I'll say something then. Because I feel like
Okay.
what my problem was with the one ex I kept going back to talk to, is because, and y'all can wave y'all little flags. So I know. Listen. No, one thing I could do about myself is acknowledge that I've had red flags. That's one thing I can do. And it's because in this relationship that I kept going back to talk to is I would push my friends aside for this person. So she became like the one I talked to about everything. Right. So then when I didn't have her and I was in a new relationship, that's the person I talked to about everything. So she was just a natural one I went back to. So that's why it's important. And I tell my boyfriend this now. I'm like, I can be your best friend, but you need other friends too. Like I can, because then you're going to end up going back to, God forbid something happens, but then I'm going to be that person that you know and you go back to. Like, I don't talk to all my exes, and most of the ones I do talk to are gay now. So like, I said, look, let me clarify before y'all hop on my neck. They ain't never getting back with me. But no, I think it's important to realize like you need other friendships outside of that, because that's why I kept going back. And once I realized that, and once my boyfriend like was like, the way that she's talking and the way that you were talking to her, it's getting sneaky. Like it's getting something's going on, and he had to call it out. And now we don't talk anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you had to realize like, why am I going back? Like, what is this reason that I keep going back? And once I did that, it was dead.
I don't see a reason to be friends with exes. Like it's an ex for a reason. That's just me personally.
I don't see a reason not to be friends with exes also.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see both sides. I mean, because I've been on her head a little bit, but just a little. But honestly, I had a similar situation. Like, I have an ex right now that if I felt like she could handle us being friends, we will be friends because she's cool. We don't have no bad blood, but she can't handle it. If I even say happy birthday, she's gonna think that we getting back together.
Literally die.
Literally.
Right.
And so it's like I literally had to cut it off because out of respect for my relationship, I know how she is. I could be married and she'd still be like, one day. You know, like for real. And I'm like, and I know that about her. So I'm like, I have to just
be done with
it. But if
it
wasn't for that, we could be friends.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
That's a big part of a platonic relationship is the emotional connection that you have with someone.
I feel like you have to be very mature to understand that intimacy and an emotional connection derives from you having this relationship with this person, these memories with this person, going through life with this person. And it can be on a friend level. It can be like an intimacy. People think it's just sex. Like, no. Intimacy is extremely deep. My best friend for 20 years, she's probably my most intimate soul tie. She is a cis woman with a husband, you know what I mean? Like in Oklahoma, but we are so intimate. Like she is one of my humans ordeal. So I feel like you have to really understand that emotional connections have to happen to have any type of real, concrete relationship in your life where you can run to your partners and they're going to have your back. Yeah. They're going to hold you accountable. They're going to be there for you. They're going to see you through the light and the darkness. And it's what we do with that emotional connection. It's that action with that emotional connection to where like my ex-fiance and I, like I said, we were off and on for a long time. Obviously, our emotional connection is there. It's extremely prevalent because of what we've been through, the conversations that we've had. And I will say this, prior to getting to this relationship, it was almost that safety net for me, where I could be myself with this person. I could talk about my relationship problems or not relationship problems, and we could have those levels of intimacy. No, not right now. I'm talking about I'm talking about prior. Hell no. I'm talking about prior to. No, I'm talking about prior to. You have to have some level of emotional connection, but it's a respectful emotional connection. And I don't know. I can't get on the bandwagon of saying that like you can't be or you shouldn't be, because I feel like who I am, I'm an emotional being. Like, you know, I'm an emotional being. Like, that's why we're so close. I'm an emotional being. You're not the most emotional being. It's me. And I feel like half the time I derive those relationships. I'm the friend that keeps those relationships going and keep that family member close to, or, you know, like, you're very quiet and not very emotional. I am, though. So that brings you to my level sometimes to be emotional with me. And so, but I feel like it's what you do with that. I'm not coming cuddling with you and, you know, your partner, you know?
Yes.
I'm not doing all that.
But you don't see how that could be a lie.
No.
From the other side.
And we're all adults,
even
though.
when she was like, at one point, that was my person. You know, like, but I'm just saying, but like.
No, yeah, that's what I heard.
No, for real.
Why would you?
But I'm like, but as your new person, why would I want to hear you talking about somebody else in that way? And you like, but you know, I mean, we could go get coffee.
That's honestly
like,
why I wave my red flag.
Because I also,
me personally, I'm not.
I feel like at the end of the day, I'm dating a grown person, and so I've created, and I tend to create, and I will always create. I don't care if I just met you. These safe spaces to have this conversation. Use your words. If I don't know how you're feeling and you got a problem with it, I'm not gonna spend part of my 24 hours trying to figure out how you feel. You can come at the table and say, babe, this is how I'm feeling, because I've never given you any sign or red flag to where you should ever be intimidated talking to me about these things. And she knows that. If she ever came to me and be like, don't like it, cut it off, I wouldn't even ask why, because she's the kind of person that processes deep, comes to very logical conclusions, and if she's feeling some type of way, 95% of the time it's based off some real shit. So I'm not gonna question my lady. And so she might feel some type of way, but I don't know it because she ain't said it. And if I don't know something, I can't change something.
I'm not a possessive person.
Right. Neither am I.
But when it comes to my relationship with my partner, there are certain things that, and like, maybe I'm gonna let me know if this is a red flag. But like, for instance, like your celebrations, like your good news and everything like that, I expect to hear that first.
Right, I agree.
And your bad news, or like something that you're dealing with that day, or if you feel, because my boyfriend is the first person on it. Like, I screenshot a lot of shit like on social media, and then like one day, like I'll just like, I'm getting my hair done, I'm gonna post all this on my story. He will be the first one, babe, are you okay? Like, I saw your story, it seems a little down. Did somebody upset you? And I'm like, you already know that if somebody did, like, you're the first person I'm gonna tell. Right. But I appreciate you. I love that about you. And like, we're very that way. We do check-ins once a month. Like, is there anything that I did this month that pissed you off? What did we do all month? And it's really good. Look up the radar procedure. It's really nice. But
Mine usually just gets told in the moment.
Fair. But then also sometimes in those moments you risk having a bit of a tiff or a disagreement in front of people. Smile in public and then correct me in private, please.
We also have monthly check-ins to where like that is at the time of the table where like, I'm not possessive, but I do protect my relationship. And so a part of that protection is those boundaries. Boundaries protect home, it protects love, it protects trust. So when we do our once a month check-in, did I do anything that you didn't feel comfortable telling me that I offended you? Did something happen that you didn't have the right moment to talk about? How can I support you better next month? We talk about all those things. So if you ain't said nothing in those moments, if I don't, that's a you thing.
That's fair.
That's a you thing.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's a you thing.
Because we have ample room, space, and opportunity, and our time to talk about that is not tied to just that once a month thing.
Right.
Like, you can tell me at any time.
Right.
But this is the time.
Right.
This is your moment.
If you were thinking
Like,
about it.
That's good that you have like a set aside time for that too.
I'm too flighty. Gotta check in.
It's not like a set time. Like, it'll be like, oh, hey, like, and like sometimes we'll go like a month and a half or like 2 months. It's like, hey, we haven't done a check-in. Like, we should sit down and like we should do that. And like, it's really just about like, hey, are we here? Like, are we still like, am I doing everything that you want me to do? Or am I doing anything that you don't like?
Communication is key. And I wanted to just end it with everyone going and saying just like your summary of how you feel. What do you feel about platonic relationships within yourself, and what advice you might have for other people that are dealing with this conversation that they may be having with friendships within the queer community. So we'll start with Yamea then. Like, how do you feel, like as a single person now, listening to this dynamic of everybody talking about their relationships? Is your perspective, has it changed with platonic relationships? Is it the same, or like what advice you may have for other people?
Now, I'm not gonna lie, this was a great panel of very different perspectives. And as I was listening to everybody, I was learning a lot, like reflecting on like my past relationships and things, and kind of why I'm still single. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna tell you why. Now, I definitely can think of several times where, you know, as we go along, I've blurred some lines with some of my friendships. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that, you know, that comes from like the things that you experience, the more relationships that you have, and the mess ups. You know what I'm saying? And I was just going around and listening. So like more than anything that I learned, communication is very much key, no matter how good or bad it may come off, as long as they know, because nobody can read your mind. But yeah, but that's mostly what I took away, TBH.
I learned a lot of new things, honestly. No, I really did. I really did. I feel like I came in here with like this set thing in my mind, but y'all really like opened my mind a lot. I was like, dang, why did I tell my boyfriend that? Like, that's real crazy of me. I'm about to turn on Boys to Men. I'm like, listen. But no, that's real though. I feel like it helped me kind of put myself in his shoes, like with the different perspectives. So it was good. I feel like this conversation is gonna like help me grow, and not just like a romantic relationship, but also friendships and like where those boundaries are and where I put them. So I enjoyed it. It was good.
I think this was a great conversation that definitely needed to be had. I'll say that I learned a lot of things about, I think it's going to come down to your security, like your self-confidence, your security, and the communication within your relationship. And I've learned from Mary here that as long as I'm secure and as long as you're secure, we can tackle anything. Like, I can be friends with an ex. They might pop up at a family function that has nothing to do with you or me. Like, it's more about, like, the dynamic there. And that's something that in the past I was like, I don't know if I could handle that. But now I'm just like, I don't necessarily know if it would be a problem. Like, especially if we had that communication on Front Street. So, like, I think that's something that I'm taking away from this. If I have any advice for anybody else, I would just say that it's communication. Like, you really do have to talk and understand that a platonic relationship, because you were very smart in not saying platonic friendship, but a platonic relationship, it is a deep and emotional connection, and sometimes that looks different from everyone's perspective. You just gotta talk about it. It could work for you or it could not work for you, depending on who your partner is even.
Yeah. I agree with everything that you guys have said. I think that communication is absolutely number one. I would just reiterate that when it comes to platonic relationships, just being confident in yourself and making sure that you and your partner are on the same page. And once again, just being aware of other people's intentions, because it's not always just about what you think and how you feel. You have to be very aware of the vibes and the things that the other people are putting off, and just protecting your relationship, because sometimes you can open up a door that you don't even realize that you opened. You know, just kind of being too friendly or just being too, you know, and so it's like you never really know where other people's head is at, and you are the one in the relationship, so it's your job to protect it. If I had to give any advice, honestly, just piggybacking, just be transparent, be honest, respect yourself, respect your relationship, respect your partner, and you'll be good.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this platform is all about these voices that you're giving this stage to and these stories. And I think that just as important as we sit on this couch or with you one-on-one and have a voice, you have a voice in your relationship. And that voice comes with this duty to protect it not your relationship, but yourself. So if you know you have these insecurities, if you know you have these issues and it has not came from your current partner, maybe your past partner, sometimes you got to do a little bit more work to not let that bleed into your current relationship. Communication is extremely key, and then don't be naive. And so my biggest advice is to, if you feel it, other people can see it. And so if you can feel it, other people can see it. And so, making sure that you are communicating with your partner, but also there's actions behind that communication. Because I don't want to be sitting down with you, if you are my partner, talking all day long about our feelings and be on the same page, and we get out in public, then there's no actions. That's a lack of respect. There's no longer respect in that relationship. You might need to have some second options or just decide to move on.
Also, to piggyback off of everyone else, just establish boundaries within yourself, within your partner, within like potential friends or like new dating candidates in your life.
I appreciate all of you guys coming on here, and I hope you guys get back to your relationship. You guys have good open conversations if you are in a relationship with your partner. I know like this is a conversation that I needed too. Like I said, this is new to me.
Oh wait, I want to ask. Takeaway. Do you still think that Fems and stud cannot be friends?
Yes, and Fems can be friends, but you can't be friends with my partner. I still think.
Period.
I respect it.
Period.
That's your
Because
relationship.
I just don't trust. I just don't trust. And like if we're all cool, we're all cool. But my trust in it, like I'm confident within myself. I'm confident with what I bring, but like, and I trust my partner. I really do.
Yes.
But like a lot of other people said, I don't trust other people, and I don't feel like you should be going out to dinner with someone that is stud mass presenting.
Yes.
I still don't think that's something that I am cool with.
Okay.
And that's just how I see it. I'm curious to see what everybody else thinks from this conversation too. But yeah,
What?
What do y'all think?
No, I mean, in my defense, like I don't know, but I just met studs. I had stud friends. Like I don't know.
It's like we're in a community. Like there's two
Yeah.
types of like if I'm
but
meeting
then I'm like,
men. There's a femme.
what
There's
do y'all have in common? Like what?
We're girls.
We're girls, but what else?
We're
like,
both gay.
Right.
Maybe we like the same TV show.
Maybe
or
we like
music.
books.
Maybe it's not our
like I said, I go
chemistry
back to
is
that
not tied to
emotional
our
connection.
sexual organs.
I go back to that emotional connection.
But I also
Like
feel
you
like-
are getting an emotional connection with somebody.
Is this
and
because
that's
of
just
your
me too.
past?
No, it's not about past. I have respect for other people's relationships too. Like I would never hit up your girl, bro, even though we're like, hey, let's go have dinner. Like I would never get close with her like
No,
that.
absolutely not.
And we're
No, you're
And I would
absolutely
never
right.
do that with your partner.
Exactly.
And we
So
all
why
went to
are
school
we
together.
questioning how I feel about
I'm
it.
not questioning. I just
But
wanted to know like what we
Right.
took away.
But no, yeah, that's like this.
I just want to know what we took away.
So, like-
Because that was your question when we started.
You stud presenting
Because
individuals are no longer.
I've never been in a stud like I'm not a girl like for like like I'm not a lesbian, like I don't know what that dynamic is like. So to be asked that question, I was like, I don't know how to answer this. So I do want to know after having this huge discussion and we all showing how you felt,
I
like
still
what you
feel
took
the
away.
same way.
And that's
I
good.
still feel the same way.
We're not here to change your mind.
But I also just like the point. I like the point of just like knowing the boundaries and like filling it out, because not everyone's trying to like get, so like for instance, my partner having femfrems, I feel different about that.
Do you
Never
trust
before.
yourself?
Huh?
Do you trust yourself?
Yes, I do. Turn all on I do.
We should have been asking you first.
Chase, we're gonna have to come back
You
with a
tried
part
to-
two. Part two coming soon. Part two coming, and you gonna sit your ass on this couch. I got a question.
I do trust myself, but I just know like just I'm not going to I don't open the door. Like you said, once that door gets open, there's situations that I don't open the door. The door just stay closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And that's fair.
That's
And every time you try to shut, it's gonna be a stud presenting right there.
no.
That's it. Every time it's gonna be a step in, man. Look out.
You're like, you're not it today.
You need to make merch after this. Stud presenting.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you guys again for just being a part of this conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you again to Wichita Pride for being a sponsor for this. And we got the Queen here too. Shout out. This has been great. I can't wait to see the feedback in this conversation. I can't wait to see what you guys think and your opinions and your relationship, how the dynamic works. And if you are like me, stud presenting, people cannot be friends with Fems. That's just what it comes down to.
I'm just throw a damn flag there. Just throw We're done.
Thank you again to Wichita Pride. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Kueen Talk. Make sure you guys go to queentalk.com. Check out all the other episodes. All of their lovely stories one-on-one are on the platform right now that you can listen to. But yeah, as always, family, friends, strangers, love and always be nice. Be nice. Thank you. Thank you guys.